The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 talking about your tattoo stories because we talked about how Kenzie's husband said it'd be really cool if you got my name on you. And Kenzie called his bluff. Said, okay, let's do it together. Well, no. I'm not getting your name on me. Not doing that. And that's where the standstill is. We'll follow this story and the saga as it goes along over the years with Brian and Kenzie on Q101 because I have a feeling this will have an arc to it. I think it'll go up and down and eventually there'll be some kind of conclusion to it where you both end up with tattoos.
Somebody said my husband's cheating on me because he won't get the tattoo. And I don't know if they have further evidence and that's what they're saying or if they're just making an assumption.
Honestly, would that stop?
I would love a text back.
Like if it was a girl or a guy he's cheating with, would they go, wait, whose tattoo is that about? All they have to say is, it's just an ex. I mean, I don't know what people do when you put a name of your significant other on your body. What do you say to other people when they see it? Is it a buzzkill when you get naked and you're ready to do something and they see all these other, maybe you have many names on your body? Like, is this something that's part of...
if I had a boyfriend and needed a different girl's name on him, I'd be pretty bummed out.
Yeah, you'd be bummed out?
Yeah. Wouldn't... If Megan had some Spartacus on her...
She dated some...
ass cheek...
God.
Would he be bummed out?
That'd be amazing, actually.
You would
Spartacus
like
on her butt? Spartacus?
Think about a guy hooking up with your wife that used to be named Spartacus. You have to know it's Brian. Like you're probably not bringing the same pack of the same heat, right?
I don't know. I think I could take down a Spartacus. I'm gonna take him down.
David versus Goliath kind of scenario.
I don't listen. I'm just putting it this way. It wouldn't stop me from continuing on, but it would definitely, would it stop you? If it was, let's say it wasn't your husband, let's say it was just somebody your first time.
I probably, unless they had plans for a cover-up, this is getting covered up next week and I see the appointment, I probably wouldn't date somebody with somebody else's name on them.
Changing the C to a K.
Because I would wonder, and somebody else may feel differently about this, but I would personally be like, why wouldn't your ex's name be covered up? I would wonder if there was some...
Still feelings?
Yeah, that it was hard for you to do so or whatever. That I would think that would be a priority when the relationship ended. To slap a butterfly on that or something. I don't know.
What, a big pumpkin over it?
Yeah.
Cassandra's checking in from Schaumburg. Ahoy, Cassandra.
Good morning.
What's your take on or do you have a tattoo story?
Both, actually. So first, I want to tell Kenzie, it's actually a pretty well-known thing in the tattoo community that getting any kind of significant other's name tattooed on you is cursed. It's absolutely cursed.
Okay. So does that mean my husband isn't cheating on me and maybe he just knows that fact?
Probably not cheating on you, but after you get the tattoo, any tattoo artist will tell you, give it 6 months.
Wow. I'd like to hear from a tattoo artist that have some data and stats on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So did you do this?
No, God, no.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
She's not as stupid as I am, right?
What else did you want to say about it, Cassandra?
So I have a buddy of mine who is very heavily tattooed, and he has a heart tattooed on a certain part of his body after the song Tainted Love.
Oh, my gosh.
I love that song.
Tainted love.
If I've got to
Bow, bow.
run away.
Exactly. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It is. Iconic.
And why did he do that?
Because he thinks it's hilarious. He has a lot of very joke-based tattoos.
Yeah, when you get that person that's got them head to toe, you have to kind of explain everything. I got this one because it means this or that, and it becomes it's a conversation piece at parties.
Well, you know what? My brother is a fan of the joke tattoos too, and he has a smug bed bug from The Office tattooed on him. So it's like a bed bug marching. And I'm like, that's forever. That's forever, Keaton.
Yeah.
You did that forever.
Yeah. Well, thanks for checking in, Cassandra. Brittany's checking in from Joliet. Brittany, ahoy.
Hi, ahoy.
We're talking about tattoo stories or situations. Maybe you were in one?
Yeah, so I have an ex name tattooed right on my butt cheek, unfortunately.
Oh.
Is it Spartacus?
And that isn't my child's father, so you should have seen the looks in the faces when I was in the labor and delivery room, and they were like, oh, who's this? Because they ask you who the father's name is.
Oh, no. Yeah, what is the name? What's the name on your butt?
It's such a name, too. It's Thomas.
Okay.
Oh, you could meet another Thomas. That's good odds.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
People really responding to Brittany from Joliet's tattoo of Thomas on her butt, her ex. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We're talking about your tattoo stories. Autumn checked in and said she should just add a train under the Thomas tattoo.
Keep on chugging action.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, my God.
Also, I said Thomas is kind of maybe a rough person to marry, 847. Thomas is a bad name. My dad was named that, and he was a racist. For sure.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not, listen.
I heard the train was, too.
Yeah. We can't lump all Thomases together here.
Can't do that. I also, people are just coming for my husband now because one person texted in. I was like, your husband's cheating on you. That's why you won't get your name tattooed.
In case just to know, we talked earlier about how Kenzie's husband said, put my name, tattoo it on you. And Kenzie called his bluff and said, yeah, let's do it. And then he wouldn't put her name on him. So there's no tattoos right now.
No. And he told me beforehand, some people thought that he did it once I got it. He's not that mean.
Yeah.
We said beforehand. But then, so when I said this guy just assumed my husband's cheating because he wouldn't get my name tattooed, then people just started making crazy statements. And Jack texted in and said, Kenzie, your husband punches babies because he won't get a tattoo with your name.
I'll just keep adding to the list on piling on her husband on what he does because he won't get Kenzie's name tattooed on his body. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We also continue this conversation over on Facebook at Q101's Facebook page.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
To put a nice little bow on all this tattoo talk here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Comedian Harlan Williams with the final words.
And everybody's got to have a tattoo. Do you have a tattoo, homie? What is it? Come on. Arm. You got a tattoo of an arm? Where is it, on your leg? What do you got? There's something on your arm, buddy? Just tell me. You don't have to give me a fashion show. What is it?
Tribal.
Tribal. There you go. What tribe are you running with these days, sir? Still with the Starbucks Warriors, are you? Good for you. Tribal. Anyone else with a little tattoo? What do you got, partner? Elephant ears. Why'd you get that, buddy?
You want to see the trunk?
Do I want to see the trunk?
Oh, God.
Anybody got a tattoo of a magnifying glass?
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Some wild news came out. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101 about the guy that went viral for the dress. I don't know if you remember this. It's somewhere around 10 years ago, I think, 8 to 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was one of those first viral things. If you think back about viral videos and the first one you remember, this is probably one of them where this dress was up on the internet and you could look at it and say it was these certain colors. But then if other people looked at it and saw two different colors on the dress.
Right. They saw either black and blue or you saw gold and white.
Yeah. And it's mind-blowing because how does it work? I don't know how your brain works. There's studies that say if you think something, it goes that way. I don't know. Or it says something about your personality.
It was something about the lighting, too. Like if you did it in certain lightings. But yeah.
Well, there's a wild story about this guy that went viral for this. And do you have the impression that people that go viral are all good people?
No, look at Jared from Subway.
Oh, gee, good example. Well, this guy's in that world. This guy's in that world with Jared.
He likes turkey subs and children.
No, this guy
unfortunate.
This guy doesn't like a certain type of person, and we'll talk about that after Weezer give you the whole story.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, in case the producer joins us for this conversation about viral videos. And I just looked back up. It was 8 years ago that the dress went viral. And I know a lot of people that this was the first kind of viral video they remember. Like, I go back to Kimbo Slice backyard fight videos. That's the first thing I remember about the internet when it started getting big.
Was that the first thing, like when you got YouTube?
Yes.
Was it Kimbo Slice oriented?
Without question.
God, that's so interesting.
If you don't want to go down that wormhole, rest in peace, by the way, pour one out.
Gone too soon.
For Kimbo Slice, when they're fighting in the UFC. You know who Kimbo Slice is, Kenzie?
No.
You want to go in those videos with me after the show?
What is it? What is his name?
Kimbo Slice.
Slice?
Yeah.
Pizza guy?
No, fighter. He fought people. He fought people.
He was such a good backyard fighter that he ended up in the UFC.
Oh my God, that's such a you thing to say. Like you discovered him in a garage. He was so good on the cul-de-sac before anybody knew him.
In case
Like
you
an
don't-
opener.
You guys don't know, Case finds all the bands that we end up playing on Q101 like a year later.
He loves being the only fan.
I'm an early adopter. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're onlyfan.com.
So this guy that came up with the dress, and if you remember that, again, 8 years ago, you look at this dress, and it was his mother-in-law's dress at his wedding. Took a picture of it and said, what color is this dress? And people looked at it and saw, what I guess, gold and white?
Yeah, white and gold.
Or black and blue.
Yes.
And everyone's looking at the same thing, but you saw something different depending on whatever in your brain.
I think it was the lighting affected it, right?
Well, wouldn't be the same lighting for everybody then?
No, it wouldn't be the same lighting for everybody. Somebody has different lighting in the hallway than we do right now.
No, but I mean, you're seeing a dress on the internet. You're seeing a picture that's
I don't know,
already.
it was something about light. I remember him doing a deep dive about the light coming through on it. So whether it's people view lights differently, so that's
Yeah.
why, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, it
And
was
then if
weird.
you were colorblind, it was black and white.
Thanks, Kenzie.
People don't talk about the third very
What
often.
did blind people see, Kenzie?
Yeah, and some people just saw black in the dress. So there was a few more options. I feel like we don't address very often.
Well, sad news on this guy who went viral. I always seem to think that viral people are good people until Kenzie reminded me of Jared from Subway.
I like the idea of Jared being viral. He was like, hey, man, you got to see this video.
It's also number one came out of Kenzie's mouth in like 2 seconds. Yeah, Jared. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, forgot about that.
I didn't.
Bad guy.
I'll never forget.
No, bad
Hashtag
guy.
never forget Jared.
Yeah, I loved Subway because of him. It ruined everything for me.
You can't still eat there?
I haven't gone in a long time.
Oh, you got to check it out. They've got the new Subway series, these new signature sandwiches they're doing. Outstanding.
Well, I also really loved it was like a double whammy for me because then the whole tuna debacle happened and that's all I got. So between Jared and tuna, I'm 0 for 2. I'm not doing well.
To be fair, Subway did the right thing. He's in jail. So you can go to Subway
Well,
again.
Subway didn't arrest him.
No, but
I think
eventually.
the citizens are. Put the sub down.
Stop in the name of Brad.
The laser scopes on his back, from the SWAT team. Oh well, this guy's a bad guy too.
He's just like Jared.
He is. He's actually he's just as bad. We'll put him in the same world. Well, he almost murdered his wife. He just got arrested for.
Was it an accident though?
No. It's long and no apology. I guess we'll say no remorse. He almost murdered his wife. Been arrested now for domestic abuse. Terrible story. Terrible that this guy, we remember this for, and now you're going to remember this for. Just like Subway, can't get Jared out of your mind.
How did he almost murder her?
Do you want details?
I mean, yeah, you're just going to throw out attempted murder and say it was serious? Tell me why.
You tell me if this is bad.
Tell me why.
Placed her in a headlock, dragged her, stalked her, mentally abused her, strangled her at knife point, threatened to kill her.
Was that the same day? Well, no, I'm serious. Did he do all of that?
I'm
Or
not
were they
sure if
separate reports.
it was over.
It's an actual question.
It was over years. He wasn't that prolific to do it all in one day.
But she was still married to him that whole time?
Yeah, well, sadly, that's what happens in a lot of these situations. They can't escape a situation.
I think proving your husband stalking you is tough because you live in the same house.
Well,
Yeah, but he's stalking her outside of the house.
But they're still married.
I mean, yeah, my husband totally popped up and been like, "Oh, did you pick up the milk?" I'm not like stalker.
He's outside the building right now.
Tell you what, knife on the neck though. That's pretty.
Yeah,
that's pretty bulletproof.
Terrible
right there.
story. There's a lot of resources.
That's nuts.
That's terrible. Yeah. Listen, if you're in a bad situation, please reach out to us. We'll get you the resources you need to get out of the situation and not stay with the guy just because he went viral for the dress.
Okay, you're putting a lot of assumptions on her right now. She could have been scared for her life and stayed with him, not because she liked that he was famous for posting her mom's dress.
I'm not blaming her at all. I'm blaming him for being an a-hole, and I hope he gets thrown off a building.
Yeah, well, that's better.
Yeah. That's absolutely. Bring the death penalty back for the guy with the dress. I don't know what state they're in.
They're from the UK.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like Scottish.
I don't even know if they have the death
What
penalty
happens
over there.
over there when people get arrested? No, when people get arrested, how does it? Do you think that Some places don't do prisons the way we do them, you know?
No, some places do not.
Yeah, we have gotten in trouble for our opinions on those.
Listen,
so I'm curious, what do they do?
Seen Braveheart? I hope they have the guillotine for this guy. Seriously.
Different time.
You don't know what goes on over there, so I'm just saying it could be the guillotine.
They've progressed since then.
You can't counter it. You just say you don't know what goes on over there. The guillotine might still be going on over there.
The king still deflowers all the brides. Like, what is wrong with you?
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, in case the producer joins us for this conversation about the guy who created the dress that broke the internet, has now been arrested for attempted murder of his wife. Really bad guy. Scottish. And so we did a little bit of digging on what happens over there, because Kenzie said, what do they do over there? Do they have prisons? What happens?
Yeah.
They used to have the death penalty, and they got rid of it. First in 1887, Scotland did, but then they brought it back for a little while because they figured, like, hey, that was dumb. Let's bring it back and take care of these people. The last person, they hung someone in 1963.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's going all in on death penalty.
I mean, that's kind of like piratey.
Yeah. In 1963, they did that. So
That doesn't seem... 1963.
Yeah, there's like cars and stuff.
Yeah, that's not that long ago.
Think about it. Like, Kennedy was in office here in 63. That's the year he got assassinated.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
They were hanging people still? Damn.
Can you imagine if Kennedy had brought that back? If he lives until 64, he's bringing back hanging in the U.S.?
Did they do it like the town square? Or was it like private?
I think it was in someone's yard, just of choice. But yeah, they have what we have now. They have like life in prison. So hopefully the guy gets that for being.
Well, Jack texted in because I was like, what happens? Because people have some different policies out there. Just checking in. And Jack said in Scotland, they just take away one sheep from their flock each crime they commit.
All right, everybody, come over to take your sheep. Just one. But how many crimes you do today?
That's pretty good.
That's my Scottish accent.
I like that one.
All right, good.
Lot better than your Morgan Freeman.
Well, I've got another viral. You interrupt me. You didn't give me enough time. I have to set the
every
stage.
time I hear it, it's bad.
I'll do it on a podcast later for everybody.
Okay.
Go back.
You do that.
It already sounds more like Denzel from the jump already.
No, Denzel from Training Day, by the way, was on the other day. Now that's now that
He's saying the movie was on, not that Denzel was on our show, by the way, the other day. So don't go back and look for that.
Denzel, if you want to come on, we got a special podcast
I
segment
want to
for you.
clarify. He means the movie was on at his house.
Can you imagine if Denzel came on and we didn't get him on the show live, just put him on the podcast only? Okay, but Case, the producer, hadn't heard this thing got in my head about viral things that went around that time of the dress. And do you remember, Kenzie remembers it because I asked her, brainstorm or green needle?
I don't know what this is.
Okay, Case has never heard this before. And the listeners, if you haven't, so play a piece of audio. It's a little distorted and weird. But just tell me right now, text 312-591-8300. But Case, okay, you tell me, Case, what you hear right now. Which word? What word did you hear?
I heard brainstorm.
You heard brainstorm. I'm going to play it again. Did you hear brainstorm?
I'm hearing brainstorm.
Okay, now think green needle. Like, say it in your head when it happens.
Okay.
You got that?
I still heard brainstorm.
That's impossible.
Well, my mind is unique.
Oh, God, he's going to be one of these people.
This is so disappointing.
You have to say the word in your head. So if you say brainstorm in your head or you say green needle in your head, that is then what you hear.
But that goes for every word.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. If I just think salmon and you say Jack, I'm not going to hear Like, what are you talking about?
When I say Case, I don't hear Kenzie. Listen again.
Okay.
So think the word at the same time it's going on.
Okay.
You think green needle as they're saying it.
Think green needle.
I can hear it now.
There you go. God, you're
I think he's
he's
just saying it. I know. He's such a pain in the ass. What'd you guys hear on that? Did you ever heard? So now think brainstorm.
I hear brainstorm.
Now think green needle.
I can hear green needle.
It's the same piece of audio. It's the same thing.
But I still stand by my statement. If you think a word, that's what you end up hearing.
That is not true. Okay, think the word salmon right now. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, Jack. Did you hear
salmon there?
Did it sound like I said?
I almost swore right now. I'm so mad at him right now.
Did it sound like I said salmon?
I can see how they could be confused with
you
one
piece
another.
of crap.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, Joe Curtis, Brian and Kenzie's newsman, comes in and gives you the headlines of the last 24 hours.
This is not headline news. Eminem joined Ed Sheeran on stage at a Detroit concert. They were both pale in comparison. A woman in France was hit by a meteorite while having coffee with friends. Experts say it's proof that even space dislikes the French. Today is National Tattoo Day. Ooh, I'm going to get a super cute dolphin on my ankle, replied a representative for the International Association of Basic White Chicks. And on this day in 1954, construction began on Disneyland in California. And this is interesting, construction also began on the world's first $50 souvenir t-shirt. This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.